Animals. They have no understanding of the tech they're wearing.
Copy, Echo. Congratulations, Echo.
This is all Dr. Larson's fault. How could a man of science be so vile? That fool Sue should share part of the blame too. What was he thinking? My animals, all gone. Your current state is not life at all.
Congratulations.
God damn it, Ace. You never should have put down the wrench and picked up the gun. Sorry about the waterworks. I'm still pretty broke up over Ace. I'm Angie. You kids must be...
Better than he'd like. Back in the day, the General was the craziest of us all. But somehow, after he brought down Base Cochise, he became the sanest. Now he's running the whole show, and doing a damn fine job. While I'm still walking patrols and answering radio calls. Shows you how much ambition I got, huh? An old military facility from before the war. And the biggest fight the Rangers ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down. Earned our stripes that day. Literally. That's when I became Captain Death. Yeah, the Base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. It thought everybody was its enemy. Wanted to kill the whole planet. Sorry, but you are. As cute as little kittens. Y'all remind me of us. Snake, Razor, Thrasher, and me. Back when we were just starting out. Thinking we were gonna save the world for the future. Thinking none of us would ever die. Christ, sorry. Don't listen to me. Youth is good. Optimism is good. If we all started out worn out and jaded like me, nobody'd ever try to change the world. So you kids go ahead and give it a go. Maybe it'll work this time. You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he just seemed like this big old growly bear. Strong as an ox and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from Base Cochise. He couldn't go out on patrol no more. Any other commander would have handed him his walk-in papers. But Vargas doesn't dump old friends. So he started him working in the museum. And once you know it, turns out the old bear has a knack for cartography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the Wasteland ever since. Who'd have thunk it? He's another one gone. Went out for a patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead, or AWOL, or gone off to join the Scorpions. All anybody knows is he hasn't called in, and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him. I miss old Hellraiser like blazes. Didn't talk much. Didn't make friends easy. Wasn't big on social graces. But he was as loyal as they come, and when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win that name by accident. Sharp as a razor, scary as hell. You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training? Well, let me fill you in. You know when we left the prison and moved here to the Citadel? Well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Just a bunch of rangers back then, but they've been getting more organized. Call themselves a militia now, and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of Eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. The protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money, and if the locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get by on donations and good old-fashioned scavenging. Basically everything between the prison and the radiation clouds to the east. There are a few small towns and farms out there, which the Scorpions claim is their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well. But a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice and crime-free as the Scorpions say it is. But I've got my doubts. The edges of the map, kiddies. Big hot areas we can't get into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around some with the wind and the weather, but there are permanent hot spots on every side of us. North, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing those weird broadcasts, I kind of thought those clouds went on forever, and that Arizona was the last place on Earth. But maybe there's more people out there. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine, and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke? Ace played me some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it, but what I heard made my hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines. Or machines into men, or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers. Saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world, and we need to be wiped out so his glorious future can be born. I mean, who is this guy? Where is he? What the fuck does he have against us? Well, like I said, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day. But I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him now. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in, shit, a decade maybe? They all hurt, but this one... Man, Ace wasn't even a ranger. Not at first. He worked as a driver and mechanic for Farron Brygo up in Vegas. When Base Cochise started sending its death machines into the desert, Brygo sent Ace south to recruit robot fighters. We met him in quartz. He'd pissed somebody off out there and they'd locked him up. We sorted that out, and he started running with us, helping us fight Cochise. He never stopped. Vargas eventually gave him the uniform and the hat, but I don't think he ever formally signed on. He was just always there. And now he's... God damn it, Ace. I knew this one was trouble, I knew it. He was working on the same thing Vargas has you working on. Trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed a bit boring and scientific to me. But then Ace started saying he thought someone was following him. I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units. But he told me to go back to base. He said he was just jumping at shadows because those radio broadcasts had spooked him. Should have gone with him. Why didn't I go with him? I don't really know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters and north-south axis and signals bouncing off the clouds. Ask Woodson about it. He's our radio genius. Radio technician Wade Woodson? Sure do. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps the machines running and the signal clear. He'll also talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies and I don't know what else if you let him. But be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base. Could be a nice little place if the Atchisons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about, but between them, they got enough old railroad tech that if they worked together, they could give this area a real transportation system. instead. Seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off. Idiots. Man, not sure I can recall. Haven't been out that way in ages. Don't even know if it's still on the map. Ask Thrasher. He'd know. Look, I know you've already been out in the field, so I gotta ask. You find anything out about Ace's killer yet? A robot? He was killed by a robot? But we killed all the robots back when we blew up Base Cochise. Where the fuck did this thing come from? God damn it. Now we gotta find out who sent the robot. You sure?
Cool. No need to tell Vargas why I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented, all right?
worry, babe. I'll send the ones who did this to hell. So you can kick their asses for eternity. So you can kick their asses for eternity. Hey, Woodson.
Welcome
What do you
back to
hear?
Ranger Citadel, recruits. So you saved Ag Center at the expense of High Pool. A tough decision, and I know it must weigh heavily on your minds. But a choice had to be made. And once you chose Ag Center, you did all you could to save it and its people. I'm particularly pleased that you went out of your way to help Matt Forrestal. He was a great ranger, and remains a credit to our organization now that he's left. Also, let me personally thank you for finding Ace's killer, whatever it was. I'm sorry your initiation into the Rangers has been such a trial by fire, but you've proven yourself tough under pressure, and in my eyes, that makes you fit to be a ranger. You have earned the name. Welcome aboard, Rangers. Now, any questions? You are our next generation recruits, and I want you to make us proud. Remember that every action you take reflects directly upon the Desert Rangers as a whole. We've worked hard to gain the trust of the people of Arizona, and to have them accept our authority. Keep that in mind every time you draw your weapon or make a promise. The lives of other Rangers and the rule of law depend on your wisdom, honor, forbearance. I don't know. Ace fought plenty of robots in his time, and they never gave him any trouble. So I'm wondering if this was something new, something worse. And if it is, we better find out. Listen, if you brought that thing back with you, or even just a part of it, show it to Mercaptain over in the armory, like I said. She might be able to ID it. And here, take this with you when you bring something to Mercaptain. It's a requisition form for some of Mercaptain's top-shelf gear. For finding Ace's killer, you deserve it. Ace and I went way back to the prison days. We fought Finster and the base Cochise robot army together. We rebuilt the Citadel from scratch. That I sent him on the mission which got him killed hangs heavy on my heart, and Angie's never gonna forgive me. Well enough not to talk behind her back when she's standing right in front of me. Hey Angie, how you holding up?
Better now, General. I'm only crying 8 hours out of every day now, instead of 16.
Ain't no shame in grieving, Angie. No shame at all. Place was nearly the death of us. Hell, it was nearly the death of the whole human race. Damned malevolent mainframe churning out an endless army of robots. If we hadn't stopped it, well, I hate to think. Craziest jackalope we ever faced. Might have been human once, might have been sane too. But when we met him, he was a crazy android bent on wiping out the human race and replacing us all with mutants. Got his head in our museum if you want to take a look. Our old stomping grounds, since right after the apocalypse. We moved out of there about 15 years ago when we took over this place. Wasn't a bad place, but the Citadel is more defensible. The Red Scorpions have moved into the prison since then. Nasty bunch from all accounts. They call themselves the Red Scorpion Militia now, and lately they've been filling the airwaves with a lot of trash about how they're the real law and order around here. Just another raider gang, if you ask me. I don't give them the time of day. One of the brightest minds in the Citadel. She's really helped us get our weapons and armor up to scratch, and she's always coming up with new and better stuff. Worth a visit just to see what she's got cooking. Woodson's that man right over there, my radio wingman. The man who keeps me on the air. If you want to know more about the repeater units, or how to use your radio, see him. Nelson's all right. A bit young, a bit rowdy, a bit gung-ho, but the Rangers need that now. We need new blood, like yourselves. It is your home now, recruits. A place to rest and resupply between missions. A place to learn and to share your knowledge with others. But it's more than that. Despite its tarnished history, the Citadel is a force for good, a shining beacon of justice in a dark land, a bulwark against barbarism in a world of lawlessness and brutality. Indeed, it is the furrowed field out of which the seeds of order... Hey, forgive me. Get carried away sometimes, but I do believe we are making a difference despite my shortcomings, and that our flame must not be allowed to be snuffed out. I've been too cautious, recruits. Since we took this place over 15 years ago, I focused too much on keeping the peace in areas we know, and not enough on outside threats. I wanted to rebuild, get our numbers up, but all I've really been doing is letting the world pass us by. Well, that's gotta change, and the change starts with you. You are going to find out where this threat is coming from. We have a library here, where we compile maps and information about the region to help us with our work. If you want to know about any old tech or ancient knowledge, go talk to old Flintlock there. If you've got map questions, see Gilbert. He's our cartographer. Gilbert was another one of my squad. We called him Thrasher back in the day. A good man to have in a tight spot. Past his fighting days now, though. Took a wound during the Battle of Base Cochise and never fully recovered. Now, he's our cartographer, and damn good at it. You'll find him in the museum with Flintlock. Flintlock was old when I was your age. Now he's ancient. Knows more about the history of the Desert Rangers than any man alive, and he'll tell you so himself. You'll want to talk to our quartermaster, Sergeant Melson, about that. He'll provide you with all the weapons, armor, and gear you need to carry out your duties in the Wastelands. You may also want to talk to Ethel Mercaptain or TNT-10 if you need something special. Our munitions expert. Crazy bastard is gonna blow us all up one day. Does good work though. In the field, his ordnance is highly reliable. It's just his workshop that scares the bejesus out of me. Did you? Excellent work. Let me have a look. Not much here, is there? Let me see. Fell in with a snake squeezing cellar. Okay. Getting that feeling of being followed. Damn, tells a sad story, doesn't it? Guess what came out of the dark was that damn killer robot. Well, looks like your best lead is to find this snake squeezing salesman, whoever he is. Mentions Rail Nomad here, so have a look there if you haven't already. Maybe this fella knows something more, like where the rest of the logbook is. Make us proud, recruits.
Hey, General. How's the leg?
Fine, Angie. Hope you're feeling better.
It comes and goes, Snake, you know.
Yes, that's better.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, Emelson. How are the guns?
Ah, the Heroes of Ag Center. A very tough decision, considering it was your first time out. Ag Center was a good choice, though. There are great scientists over there. Let's have a remarkable, but unnerving. I've never seen robot tech this advanced. It'll take me some time to give it a full examination. So, if you'll excuse me, Fascinating. Oh, you're still here. What can I do for you? Oh, yes, I forgot. The General mentioned that. He was so pleased you found Ace's killer that he asked me to let you have your pick of some of my more interesting creations. Let's see. The General allocated a requisition for you, for completing a thorough investigation of Captain Ace's death site. We had him locked up in the brig, and he fashioned a makeshift weapon out of some rusty bed springs. We lost 3 Rangers when he tried to break out, all from fucking blood loss. I thought learning from the design he used would make me feel better, but I kind of just feel shittier thinking about what it'll do to people. Looks like you're out of requisitions, Rangers. Remember, it's just 1 item per rec. I'll let you know when I've got more for you. Thanks for visiting, recruits. Come by anytime. And go see Sergeant Melson if you're looking to shop.
Good to see you, Captain Mercury. Captain.
Likewise.